Thank you for clicking on today's video. I'm going to be showcasing you guys how to make a subject disappear within After Effects. If this is something you've been wanting to learn, then make sure you get locked in, watch the video and learn it for yourself. Also guys, if you are interested in any sort of presets to speed up your workflow, feel free to go in the link in my description and download yours today. Let's get into the video. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to head straight into After Effects with my replaced with After Effects composition, which is within Premiere Pro, because I like to do my VFX inside here. If you like to do yours in After Effects, then you'll be right in there straight away. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this layer, and we're going to double click the first layer. I'm going to go to Roto Brush, and we're just going to do a clean cut of our subject. Okay, so once you have rotoscoped your subject, the next thing that you want to do is you just want to move across the timeline to make sure that your rotoscope hasn't messed up at all. And I feel like we've got a clean cut out there. So we're just going to hit freeze. You want to go to this rotoscope layer that we've just selected, and you want to duplicate it. And you want to click on the second one underneath it that we've just duplicated, and you want to unfreeze it. The next thing you want to do, this is very important, go to your second layer that you've just clicked unfreeze from, and you want to go to effect controls, and you want to make sure that you tick the box invert foreground background. Okay, and this is basically going to select the background, and it's not going to select the subject in the middle here. It's just going to select the background, and then we're going to hit freeze on this second layer here. So once that's all done, the first thing you want to do is go to the left hand side here where all your layers are, and you just want to make sure you click the bottom and top one off so that you've just got your subject here. And if you don't see the transparency grid, make sure that you toggle it just right here. Next thing that you want to do is you want to go to window, and you want to go to content aware fill and make sure that that is ticked, and we've got it here next to our effects and presets. And you want to do the alpha expansion all the way to 64. You want to make sure that the fill method is surface, and you want to make sure your range is work area. We have unticked the boxes again, selected the second layer that we want, and just click generate fill layer. So that is done. So now, as you can see, we have created our layer for the invisible effect. Now the first thing you want to make sure that you guys do next is just toggle everything, make sure everything is being shown, and you want to drag your fill layer underneath the first rotoscope layer that you just made. So once you've done that, everything else is going to be pretty easy because we've already created the invisible effect basically. So now just make sure, like I said, all your layers are turned on, and you just want to click on your first rotoscope layer which you've put on top as number 1, and you want to click on it and press T on the keyboard, and then just drag until you get to the start of the invisible effect. And when you press T on the keyboard, that's going to bring up the opacity keyframe. So we're going to press a keyframe at the start of our invisible effect right here, and then we're just going to drag it until where you want to fade out your subject here. Okay, so now we are going to keyframe that part to 0. So then when we watch this back now, you can see he slowly fades out and becomes invisible there. And for some extra touches, you can go to the content aware fill layer, and once he disappears, which is there, we can actually go to effects and presets, type in blur, and go to Gaussian blur. You guys can choose a different blur if you want, but I feel like this is the easiest one for this sort of effect. And you just want to slowly blur your footage there. Now this looks clean, but for some extra sauce, we are actually going to dive straight into Premiere Pro just to clean this up even more, so we can see that he disappears there. But what you can do is, as soon as you see that disappear right here, we can add an adjustment layer, and because we've got a blur going on here with the content aware fill, adding a flash blur effect would look sick. So if we go to presets, flash blur effect, feel free to download these, link will be in my description. Now that doesn't look too bad, but I feel like the flash is going on for too long, so if we just split this in half, delete, and just add our flash blur again just to keep the keyframes at the right pace. So I've actually exported this effect just so you guys can see it properly, because watching it back here, a little glitch happens, and I think it's because of me downloading these videos from YouTube. But here is the effect. This is what it looks like. Very clean. You guys can actually do a lot of changes to this, make it a lot more cleaner, like with more transitions, more rotoscopes throughout the video. You can actually add like a shake effect to this, like have your subject rotoscope into the frame, shake it, and then have them disappear. Like, there's loads of combinations you can do, but for today I was just showing you how to simply make your subject disappear and go invisible. So if you enjoyed today's video, smash that like button. Appreciate all the support, and if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and I'll catch you in the next video. Love.